This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, a holy home run. White Sox have a fan in Pope Leo. Pacquiao to exit retirement. Set sights on WBC champ Barrios. In Major League Baseball, Phillies stage epic rally to complete sweep versus Rays. In the NBA playoffs, the Timberwolves even the series as the Warriors struggle without Curry. And let's meet the Mapua Cardinals' top setter, Juancho Barba. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 9th of May. Now, here's our roundup. Chicago White Sox fans have long joked that it would take a miracle for their team to win. Now, they just might have one in their corner. Pope Leo XIV. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, born in Chicago and elected Thursday to lead 1.4 billion Catholics, has been a White Sox supporter for years. Both Chicago baseball teams initially tried to claim him, but the Pope's brother cleared things up fast.
Our mother was a Cubs fan, and our dad was a Cardinals fan. And all the aunts, our mom's family was from the North Side, so that's why they were Cubs fans.
But he rooted for the White Sox.
That's right.
The White Sox wasted no time celebrating, posting a photo of the Rate Field sign reading, "Hey Chicago, he's a Sox fan." They followed it up with, "Well, would you look at that? Congratulations to Chicago's own Pope Leo XIV." Meanwhile, Wrigley Field displayed a similar sign claiming him for the Cubs, but that wishful thinking didn't hold up. Like Pope Francis, who was known for his devotion to his hometown club in Argentina, looks like Pope Leo is staying faithful to his love for his local team. The White Sox last took home the World Series title in 2005, ending an 88-year wait. Who knows when a miracle might happen next? Iconic Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao is reported to be coming out of retirement at age 46, targeting a clash with Mario Barrios for the WBC welterweight title. Sources say the bout is slated for July 19 in Las Vegas. Pacquiao, a 12-time world champion across 8 divisions, last fought in August 2021, losing a unanimous decision to Cuban Yordenis Ugas for the WBA belt. WBC President Mauricio Sulaiman shared last week in Saudi Arabia that Pacquiao had been cleared by the Nevada State Athletic Commission and planned to face Barrios. Under WBC rules, a former champion returning from retirement may request a title shot. Pacquiao, who will be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month, is also campaigning in the upcoming Philippine Senate election. Barrios, sporting a 29-2-1 record with 18 knockouts, retained his title in November after a draw with Abel Ramos on the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul undercard. Pacquiao holds a career record of 62-8-2 with 39 knockouts. Miguel Tabuena shook off last week's letdown in style, carding a sharp 4-under-67 to kick off his International Series Japan bid at the Caledonian Golf Club in Chiba. Firing up his game with an early morning start, Tabuena rolled in 2 birdies on each side of the par 71 course, setting himself up for a tie at 8th place, just 5 strokes off the pace. Leading the pack was Australian Lucas Herbert, who went on a tear with a dazzling bogey-free 9-under-62, highlighted by an eagle on the par 5 second and a string of 5 consecutive birdies that fueled a front 9-29. He added 2 more birdies coming home to grab solo lead, 2 shots ahead of Japan's Shunya Takeyasu, who turned in a strong 64. Tabuena's round featured sharp ball striking, calm execution under pressure. He hit 11 fairways, landed on 14 greens, and needed just 28 putts. He also saved par 3 times and chipped in for birdie on the par 3 third. Tied with Tabuena at 8th were Japanese golfers Yosuke Asaji and Yuta Sigura. Moving on to Major League Baseball, it was only fitting that Brandon Mutal 0 for 31 slump in his first at-bat back from the injured list. Marsh came through in the clutch. In the 10th inning, he laced a go-ahead double to lift the Phillies to a thrilling 7-6 win over the Rays at George M. Steinbrenner Field. The Phillies had been battling back from a 4-run deficit for 2 straight innings. In the 8th, Bryson Stott blasted a 3-run homer to make it 5-4. Then, Trea Turner nearly tied it with a deep shot to the left that hit the top of the wall. Rays left fielder Christopher Morel leapt for the grab, but the ball popped out of his glove, allowing Turner to glide into second with a double. Kyle Schwarber led off the 9th with a single to right, extending his on-base streak to 48 games. On the very first pitch, Marsh hammered a fastball to left center for the go-ahead double. Turner followed with a single to center to bring home Marsh for a much-needed insurance run. In the NBA playoffs, Julius Randle led the charge with 24 points and 11 assists as the Minnesota Timberwolves took full advantage of Stephen Curry's absence, rolling to a 117-93 win over the Golden State Warriors. The victory tied their second-round playoff series at 1 game apiece. Anthony Edwards shook off an early injury scare and added 20 points, while Minnesota came out hot from beyond the arc, draining 16 of 37 threes after a cold Game 1. With Curry out due to a left hamstring strain, the Warriors looked lost offensively. Jonathan Kuminga and Trace Jackson-Davis were efficient, combining for 33 points on 14 of 17 shooting, but the team opened flat, failing to score for nearly 5 minutes until Jimmy Butler ended a 13-0 Timberwolves run. Coach Steve Kerr emptied the bench in search of answers, using 14 different players, including 13 in the first 14 minutes. Kuminga, the former lottery pick, provided energy off the bench, but without Curry, the Warriors had little firepower. The Timberwolves used their length and athleticism to silence shooters like Buddy Hield and Brandon Podziemski and kept Butler in check. Draymond Green added more trouble, picking up his 5th technical of the postseason for elbowing Naz Reid, leaving him just 2 away from a suspension. Green continued to argue with official Tony Brothers during a timeout, prompting Curry to intervene and guide him back to the bench to avoid an ejection. And here are the current playoff rankings. Now, here's your daily dose of sports lingo. What does whiff mean in baseball? In baseball, a whiff refers to a batter swinging and missing a pitch completely. It's often used to describe a strikeout, especially when a batter swings through all 3 strikes without contact. The term captures that distinct sound and moment of empty air as the bat misses the ball. A true whiff is every pitcher's favorite sound. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. I'm a man of my word, says the truth, Paul Pierce, as Boston fans look for hope and accountability. This is the kind of old-school accountability that does not exist anymore. Paul Pierce, yes, the truth, walked 20 miles, no shoes, in a robe after his Celtics blew a 20-point lead and fell to 2-0 against the Knicks in Game 2. Actually, he cheated. He did have shoes. He said he would walk without shoes, but he had shoes. Yep, the same Pierce who promised on national television that if Boston lost Game 2 at home, he'd walk to the FS1 studio the next morning, and he actually did it. Hours of walking. It's either the most painful fan apology ever or the most committed take backfire in NBA history.
All right, y'all. I'm never doing this again.
See the shoes? He did have shoes. And meanwhile, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, They're just out here ruining Legends' feet and Celtics' title dreams in the same week. So yeah, the Celtics go to MSG down 2-0, and the only person who showed more fight than their backcourt, Paul Pierce's blisters. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 9th of May. Up next, let's get to know the Mapua Cardinals' top setter, Juancho Barba, when we return right here on The Scorecard. The Mapua Cardinals are on a mission to bring back the title that has eluded them for almost 3 decades. And setting them on the road to redemption is Juancho Barba. We're here right now inside Mapua University at kasama natin ngayon ang setter ng Mapua men's volleyball team, Juancho Barba. Juancho, maraming salamat sa oras and good to see you here sa Mapua. Nag-start kayo season 100, 10 straight wins. Was this expected papasok sa season na ito?
Siyempre masaya po kami unang-una. Kasi yun nga, hindi din naman namin ini-expect na maging ganun yung standing namin. Ang mindset lang namin is every game magtatrabaho kami, every day magta-training kami. Yun lang, focus lang kami sa kung ano yung nasa harap namin, ano yung mga things na nakokontrol namin.
Para sa'yo, yung pag-implement ng double round robin, paano to naka-apekto sa inyo in terms of, yun nga, yung goal nyo na makapasok sa Final Four?
Malaking tulong din po kasi since yung mga previous seasons nga po namin is medyo naging short kami. Yung 98 po, parang fifth seed kami, tapos yung 99 is 8. So, nasa isip din po namin kung may second round dyan, maaaring may chance pa kami na makahabol. So, since ngayong season 100 is 2 rounds na, mas malaki yung chance na umabol yung mga teams and mas malaki yung chance na pwede makahabol sa Final Four yung every team. Lalo na kami.
Paano ka nag-start sa paglalaro ng volleyball?
Nag-start ako mag-volleyball noong grade 5. Tapos, ang nagvo-volleyball po kasi talaga sa family namin yung brother ko. Tapos nung mga times na yun, parang ginagawa lang niya extra training na nagdi-dig pass lang kami. And yun, doon lang ako na, syempre nung bata ko, yun yung mga simple na kaligayahan namin na basta nakapaglaro kami ng bola. Tapos doon ako na hook sa volleyball.
Was it always volleyball or meron bang ibang sport na nakahiligan mo nung bata ka?
Nag-start po talaga ako nung grade 4 5 badminton.
Badminton,
Tapos,
okay.
Yun nga, na-introduce sa akin ng brother ko yung volleyball na minahal ko naman yung volleyball.
So now, paano ka na-recruit sa Mapua?
Nag-start po ako sa Mapua mula senior high.
Wow!
11, 12.
So from boys division,
Yes,
okay.
Hanggang seniors.
Okay.
Basically, nung time po na yun, announce lang po na may open tryout. Tapos pumunta lang po ako.
Ang galing! So walk-in tryout ka?
Yes po.
Wow! Okay. So, kwento mo naman na yung pinasukan mo na, ayun, in-announce, nakita mo yung notice, tapos pumunta ka.
Yun, nung naghanap po talaga ako ng school na malilipatan mo.
Yes.
Lahat po ng school pinuntahan ko, tapos lahat rinay ko. Tapos yun, tinalid po na dito po, natanggap po ako.
Okay. So dito ka nakahanap ng home sa Mapua. Kamusta naman yung naging career mo sa boys division?
Medyo short lang din po kami nung time na yun kasi nung time ko po kami yung first team ng boys sa Mapua.
Ever?
Opo, first ever.
Wow, okay.
Yun po.
Tapos, were you always a setter? Or iba yung laro mo dati?
Yes, setter po, mula grade 7.
So, ngayon, season 100, napaka-importanting season and lagi na sinasabi na yung setter parang another coach on the court. So, kamusta naman yung relationship nyo ni Coach Aying at yung tiwala na binibigay niya sa'yo?
Yun nga po, syempre, lagi niya po akong ginaguide. Since yun nga po, ako yung parang driver ng team. Ako yung mag-dictate kung ano yung tempo namin, ano yung pace, paano yung gagalawin namin sa loob ng court. Lagi lang niya rin-recommend sa akin na yun nga, magtiwala kami sa sistema na meron kami. At malayo naman po yung irarating yung sistema namin.
And also, it's very important na yung connection nyo ng mga spikers mo Right now, Barbie San Andres, RJ Ramos, number 1 and 2 sa scoring sa NCAA. Kamusta naman yung pag-uusap nyo and yung samahan nyo as teammates ni Ben at syempre si RJ?
Siyempre, maganda naman po. Siyempre, tinagal na din po namin magsama. Third year na namin na magkakasama. And di ko din naman po kami tumitigil mag-communicate kung ano yung mga pwede namin i-improve sa sarili namin pati sa mga teammates po namin.
Minsan ba may mga disagreements ba? Nagkaka-konting pikunan? Paano nyo nasa-solve yung mga ganong klaseng sitwasyon?
Madami naman na din po, pero every after game din po kasi lagi kami nag-uusap lahat. Kung ano yung mga reason kung ba't nangyari yung mga yun. And syempre ano po yung mga side ng bawat player, kung ano yung side nila dun sa situation na yun. And ano po yung pwedeng mas better na namin na ginawa para maiwasan yung ganun sa susunod.
Pag-usapan natin yung naging 2 matches nyo against the defending champion, yung Perpetual Altas, kasi 4-peat sila sa NCAA. Now, in the first round meeting, naka-31 excellent sets ka. 4 players reached double digits in scoring from Mapua in that match. So, para sa'yo, ano yung naging susi at nanalo kayo in 5 sets?
Nung syempre naman po natin na dikit yung game namin nun, mabilis lang po kaming nag-adjust kung ano man yung ibabato nilang depensa sa amin or offensa. So, syempre di din naman po sila defending champions na po sila 4-peat. Ganun po sila syempre for a reason. May reason kung ba't sila maging 4-peat. Di naman po namin sila minamali. So, ready kami, nag-training kami, prepared kami kung ano yung mga situation na pwede mangyari. Tapos, during the game, mabilis lang po na adjustments para kung ano man yung ibato nila is prepared kami.
And then in the second round, you played them again, nanalo ulit kayo. Ano yung mas mahirap ba yung naging second meeting nyo sa Perpetual?
Siyempre, yes, mas mahirap po siyempre kasi madaming games na din po yung lumipas and nakapag-adjust na din po sila sa amin. At the same time, nakapag-adjust din naman po kami sa kanila.
Okay, and then after 10 straight wins, natalo kayo sa Arellano. For you, personally, as a setter, bakit nangyari yun? And of course, paano makakatulong yung experience na yon sa team nyo?
Siguro lack of preparation lang din po. And sa amin lang din po yung mga players yun. Yung mindset namin and kung paano kami pumasok dun sa court. Tapos, malaking tulong po yun na as early as na po na natalo na kami kasi as early as na nakikita na po namin kung ano yung mga pwede namin i-improve pa, ano yung pagkukulang namin. And nakikita na po agad namin yung mga mistakes.
Now, as a student naman, ano yung tinitake mo dito sa Mapua?
Tinitake ko po is computer engineering.
Computer engineering, okay. Bakit computer engineering? Saan mo nakikita yung sarili mo in the future?
Sa ngayon po hindi ko pa din masabi. Mula nung high school lang po ako, mahilig lang po talaga ako sa computer. Mahilig ako mag-code, gano'n. Tapos yun po, hanggang ngayon po yun po yung pinurso kong.
Okay, as a fan naman ng volleyball, sino yung mga unang nag-inspire sa'yo maglaro ng volleyball na napapanood mo sa TV?
Madami din. Sa local po, ang mga una ko pong napapanood sa TV lang sila Vince, mga Labnan.
Si Vince,
sila
okay.
Mga naging idol ko din po. Tapos nanonood din pa ako ng international volleyball. Sila Micah Christensen. Yan po, sila po yung mga naging idol ko nung nagsisimula pa lang din po.
Okay. Do you see yourself, kasi sabi mo, ngayon nakafocus ka talaga sa ginagawa mo, Spiker's Turf, is that something you want to do, play professionally after mo matapos dito sa NCAA?
Yes po, goal ko din naman po yan kasi another, din po para sa akin na achievement na makapag-pro, kahit makapaglaro lang po. Iba pa din po, syempre iba pa din po yun.
Okay, Juancho, itong season 100 para sa Mapua, it's very special. It started with the basketball team na yung mission nila was redemption. And after more than 30 years na ibalik nila yung championship dito, ngayon naman kayo, last time mag-champion ng Mapua men's volleyball, 2002. So 23 years. Nafe-feel mo ba that this could be a special and memorable year for you guys?
Yes po, syempre kasi isa pa yung board po dun sa season 100 ng NCAA is 100 years din pa na Mapua. Gusto din po namin na mabalik din po yung gold sa Mapua.
what's your message to all the Mapuans and syempre mga kaibigan mo, family mo na nanonood sa'yo, lagi sumusuporta? Ano gusto mo sabihin sa kanila?
Sa family ko, sa mga friends ko, thank you sa laging pag-support sa akin. At sa mga teammates ko nung dati pa, lagi sila naniniwala sa akin, lagi nila akong reach out na kung nasan ako ngayon, sobrang proud sila. Thank you sa support niya sa akin, sa Mapua community, sa mga students, sa One United Mapua, sa Mapua Global. Lagi po sila nandyan para sumuporta sa amin. And yun po.
Yeah. Juancho, maraming salamat. And we'll see you down the road in the NCAA. Up next, Thunder made it loud. Now it's Denver's turn to roar back at Mile High. It's only game 3. Keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. All right, we need to talk about game number 2 because something seismic just happened in Oklahoma City. This wasn't just a win. This was a statement. This was a team saying, we're not just happy to be here, we are here to run the league. So, let's set the stage first. Game number 1, ano ba nangyari? Jokic was doing alien stuff. 42 points, 22 rebounds, and Denver kinda slugged their way to a win. We saw OKC's youth, their nerves, even Chet clanking those late free throws. But game 2, holy smokes! This was SGA's empire-building moment. I mean, 34 points in 3 quarters, 11 for 13 from the field. It was the basketball version of Jordan's shrug game, just with more silence and surgical precision. And it wasn't just the buckets, it was the pacing, the poise. He was playing like he knew exactly what Denver was doing before they did it. In that first half, 87 points. 87! That's not just a playoff record. That's like something you would do in 2K when you've turned all the sliders up. That's only been done twice in NBA history. And OKC tied the record for most points in any half. The last time that happened, disco was still a thing and Larry Bird was in college. But here's what really stood out. The swagger. The Thunder walked into that arena like they were down 0-3. And Denver, I hate to say it, they looked shook. Jokic fouled out. Murray, kind of a ghost. And Russell Westbrook, man, that was weird. Thunder fans loved Russ in Game 1. Nostalgia vibes, ovation, all that. Game 2, booed him the second he walked on. That's some weird WWE heel turn stuff. SGA hits the free throw and you just felt the crowd shift into blood sport mode. Denver interim coach David Adelman didn't sugarcoat it. He said, we got pumped. And he's right. They didn't just lose. They got their identity checked. That 49-point deficit wasn't a fluke. That was OKC sending a certified letter to the league that says, we're next. And look, this series, it's far from over. Denver's going back home. Jokic probably drops a 38-15-12 in Game 3. But here's the difference now. The fear factor. Oklahoma City just showed the whole country that they can turn it on like a 2014 Spurs team with fresh legs and a TikTok account. You want a team trending upward? The Thunder are 9-1 in their last 10, averaging nearly 127 a night. Denver, a solid but human 6-4. And here's the thing, OKC's doing this with defense too. They're giving up just 107 points per game in that stretch. They're not just outscoring you, they are out executing you. So yeah, buckle up. Game 3's in Denver. Mile high altitude. Crowd's gonna be insane. Jokic will be fired up. But after that Game 2 beatdown, let's just say the Thunder didn't just wake up. They might be fully formed. And if this is what Shea looks like in May, imagine what he'll be in June. Now stay ahead of the game as the battle for the playoffs heats up with high-stakes matchups. And here is your forecast for this weekend's games. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a two-time NBA MVP, 2021 NBA champion, Finals MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year, Giannis Antetokounmpo once said, "Never be satisfied, always strive to be better." With that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.